Have you ever understood every English word in a conversation but still felt confused when someone said, "Go the extra mile," or "back to square one"? That's because native speakers use idioms every day, especially at work and in everyday conversations. If you don't understand them, you can miss the real meaning. In this video, you'll learn 5 powerful idioms that will help you understand English more naturally and speak with greater confidence. Today, we are learning 5 of the most useful idioms for work, success, and everyday life. For each idiom, you'll discover what it means, when to use it, and how native speakers use it in real conversations. At the end, you'll watch one natural conversation that combines all 5 idioms, making it much easier to remember and use them in your own English. Idiom 1. Go the extra mile. Our first idiom is, go the extra mile. This is one of the most common idioms you'll hear in American English, especially in workplaces, schools, and everyday conversations. It means to do more than what is expected. Instead of stopping after completing the basic task, you put in additional effort to achieve a better result or help someone in a meaningful way. People often use this idiom to praise someone who shows dedication, responsibility, or exceptional customer service. It carries a very positive meaning and is commonly associated with success, professionalism, and a strong work ethic. You can use this idiom in many situations. Imagine a coworker who stays a little longer to help the team finish an important project before the deadline. Perhaps a teacher spends extra time helping a student understand a difficult topic, or a friend drives across town just to support you during an important event. In each of these situations, the person is doing more than what was required. That is exactly what it means to go the extra mile. Remember that this idiom describes actions, not simply good intentions. The focus is on making an additional effort that creates a positive difference. For example, Emma says, "I was impressed with Daniel today. He finished his own work and then stayed to help everyone else prepare for tomorrow's presentation." Michael replies, "I noticed that. He's always willing to go the extra mile, and that's one of the reasons our manager trusts him with important projects." Emma says, "People like him make the whole team stronger." In this conversation, no one is talking about walking an actual mile. They are describing someone who willingly put in extra effort to help others succeed. The next time you notice someone doing more than expected, you can confidently say, "They really went the extra mile." Idiom 2. Think outside the box. Our second idiom is, think outside the box. This is one of the most popular idioms in American English, especially in business, education, and problem-solving discussions. It means to think in a new, creative, or different way instead of following the usual approach. When people encourage someone to think outside the box, they are asking them to look beyond the obvious solution and consider fresh ideas. This idiom is often used when a challenge cannot be solved by doing the same thing everyone else is doing. It highlights creativity, innovation, and the ability to see opportunities that others may overlook. You can use this idiom whenever someone comes up with an original idea or finds a smart solution to a difficult problem. Imagine a team working on a project that is not attracting enough customers. Everyone suggests making small changes, but one team member proposes creating a completely new marketing campaign using interactive videos. The manager smiles and says, "That's exactly the kind of thinking we need." In this situation, the employee is thinking outside the box because the solution is creative, not ordinary. This idiom is common in meetings, job interviews, classrooms, and even casual conversations about solving everyday problems. Now let's see how native speakers naturally use this idiom. Sophia says, "We've tried the same advertising strategy for months, but our results haven't improved." Aiton replies, "Maybe it's time to think outside the box. What if we create short videos that answer our customers' biggest questions instead of using traditional ads?" Sophia says, "I like that idea. It's different, and it could help us connect with more people." Aiton responds, "Sometimes the best solution isn't the most obvious one." In this conversation, "think outside the box" doesn't refer to a real box. It simply means using imagination and creative thinking to solve a problem. Whenever you want to encourage someone to explore new ideas instead of following the usual path, this idiom is the perfect expression to use. Idiom 3. Burn the midnight oil. Our third idiom is, burn the midnight oil. This is a classic American English idiom that means to work or study very late into the night. It is used when someone spends extra hours finishing an important task instead of going to bed at their usual time. Years ago, people used oil lamps to provide light after sunset. If they were still working at midnight, they had to keep burning the oil in those lamps. Although we now use electric lights, the idiom remains a popular way to describe working late to meet a deadline or achieve an important goal. You can use this in many situations. Imagine a college student preparing for final exams, an engineer completing a major project, or a writer finishing a book before its publication date. Instead of stopping when the workday ends, they continue working well into the night because the task is important. Keep in mind that this idiom simply describes staying up late to work or study. It does not suggest that working late every night is the best habit. People usually use it when extra effort is needed for a short period. Now let's hear how native speakers use this idiom in a natural conversation. Olivia says, "You look a little tired today. Did you get enough sleep last night?" Rukas smiles and replies, "Not really. I had to burn the midnight oil to finish my presentation before this morning's meeting." Olivia says, "That explains it. I reviewed your presentation, and it turned out really well." Rukas replies, "Thanks. It took a lot of work, but I wanted everything to be ready." In this conversation, Lucas wasn't literally burning oil. He was simply explaining that he stayed up very late working on his presentation. When you hear someone say they burned the midnight oil, you immediately know they devoted extra time and effort to complete something important. It's an excellent idiom to describe those occasions when hard work continues long after most people have gone to sleep. Idiom 4. A blessing in disguise. Our fourth idiom is, a blessing in disguise. This is a popular American English idiom that describes a situation that seems unfortunate at first, but later turns out to have a positive outcome. In other words, something may disappoint you in the beginning, yet over time you realize it actually helped you in ways you never expected. Native speakers often use this idiom when looking back on an experience that led to new opportunities, personal growth, or a better future. You can use this idiom in many real-life situations. Imagine someone who doesn't get the job they wanted. At first, they feel frustrated and wonder what went wrong. A few weeks later, they receive an even better job offer with higher pay, a supportive team, and more opportunities to grow. Looking back, they might say, "Not getting that first job was a blessing in disguise." The same expression can be used after moving to a new city, changing careers, or facing an unexpected challenge that eventually leads to something much better. The key idea is that the positive result wasn't obvious in the beginning but became clear with time. Now let's listen to a natural conversation. Charlotte says, "I was really upset when our vacation was cancelled because of the weather." Noah replies, "I remember. But didn't you decide to visit your grandparents instead?" Charlotte smiles and says, "Yes, and we had an amazing weekend together. We created memories I'll never forget." Noah says, "Then it sounds like the cancelled trip was a blessing in disguise." Charlotte replies, "I think you're right. What seemed like bad news actually turned into something special." In this conversation, the cancelled vacation looked disappointing at first. However, it led to an experience that became even more meaningful. That's why Charlotte describes it as a blessing in disguise. Whenever an event initially feels negative but later proves to be beneficial, this idiom is the perfect way to express that unexpected positive outcome. Idiom 5. Back to square one. Our fifth idiom is, back to square one. This is a common American English idiom that means you have to start over because your original plan failed, or something unexpected happened. After making progress, you may discover a mistake, face a setback, or realize your solution doesn't work. Instead of continuing from where you stopped, you return to the very beginning and build a new plan. Native speakers often use this idiom when talking about work projects, business decisions, personal goals, or everyday situations where starting again is the only option. You can use this idiom in many different situations. Imagine a software team that spends weeks developing a new application. Just before the launch, they discover a major problem that affects the entire system. Since the issue cannot be fixed with a simple update, the team decides to redesign the application from the beginning. One of the developers might say, "We are back to square one." The same idiom can describe someone whose travel plans are cancelled, a student who has to rewrite an assignment after losing the file, or a family searching for a new house after their first choice becomes unavailable. In every case, the person must begin again instead of continuing their previous progress. Now let's hear how native speakers naturally use this idiom. James says, "The client rejected our proposal because it didn't meet their new requirements." Grace replies, "That's disappointing. Does that mean we have to start over?" James nods and says, "Yes, we are back to square one. We'll need to create a completely new proposal." Grace responds, "It will take more time, but at least we know exactly what the client wants now." James smiles and says, "That's true. This time we'll build a much stronger proposal." In this conversation, no one is talking about an actual square. Back to square one simply means returning to the starting point after a setback. Whenever a plan falls apart and you need to begin again, this idiom is a natural and professional expression that native speakers use every day. Using all 5 idioms in one natural conversation. Now that you've learned all 5 idioms individually, let's see how native speakers naturally use them in one conversation. Pay attention to the context rather than trying to memorize each expression. This is one of the best ways to improve your listening skills and remember idioms for real-life conversations. Notice how each idiom fits naturally into the discussion without sounding forced. Emma says, "I can't believe our project was rejected after all the work we put into it." Daniel replies, "I know. It feels like we are back to square one, but we still have a chance to improve it. Emma says, "You are right. Instead of repeating the same ideas, maybe we should think outside the box and come up with a completely different approach." Daniel nods and says, "I was thinking the same thing. If we are going to do this again, let's create something that really stands out." Emma smiles and replies, "It will take extra effort, but I'm willing to go the extra mile if it helps us deliver a better result." Daniel says, "Me, you. We may have to burn the midnight oil for a few days, but meeting the deadline is still possible." A week later, the team presents the new proposal. Emma asks, "How did the meeting go?" Daniel smiles and says, "The client loved our new ideas. They said the proposal was exactly what they were looking for." Emma laughs and replies, "That's amazing. Looking back, having our first proposal rejected was actually a blessing in disguise. If that hadn't happened, we never would have created this stronger solution." Daniel says, "Exactly. Sometimes the biggest setbacks lead to the greatest opportunities." This conversation shows how idioms become much easier to understand when they are used naturally. Instead of learning each expression by itself, notice how they work together to tell a complete story. As you listen to English podcasts, watch movies, or speak with others, you'll begin recognizing these idioms more often and eventually start using them with confidence in your own conversations. Great job! Today, you learned 5 powerful idioms that native speakers use in workplaces and everyday conversations. More importantly, you saw how these expressions fit naturally into real situations instead of existing as isolated phrases. The more you hear and practice idioms in context, the easier they become to understand and use. Keep listening for these expressions in conversations, podcasts, and videos, and before long, they'll become a natural part of your everyday English. If this video helped you improve your English, please give it a like. Share it with someone who is learning English and wants to sound more natural. In the comments, tell us which idiom you will start using first. Subscribe to English Story Journey for more practical English lessons. Press the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.